This video will take you through the solutions to the third page of the Module 2 practice test. In this question, we're asked to find the area and perimeter of the shape below. We're going to round any of our final answers to 2 decimal places. Here we have an irregular shape. For perimeter, our formula is always just the sum of all the sides. I need to make sure that everything is all in the same unit, so I can check my measurements and dimensions here. Everything is measured in centimeters, so there's nothing I need to convert. So I can go ahead and add up the sides to find the perimeter. I'll start here at 4.1 centimeters plus 5.4 centimeters. Whoops, let's fix that. 4.1 centimeters plus 5.4 centimeters. Continuing to go around, another 4.1 centimeters, 3.7 centimeters, and my final dimension is 3.2 centimeters. Notice that I'm not adding this interior dimension of 6.2 centimeters. Remember, the perimeter is just all the exterior sides. When I add these all up, I find that the perimeter is 20.5, and I make sure to put my units of centimeters. To calculate the area, I'll need to divide this shape into some regular shapes that I have formulas for, and I can see that if I sort of divided the shape here, it's made up of this first shape, a rectangle, and a triangle. I can calculate those 2 areas and then add them together. First, I'll look at the area of what I've called shape number 1, which is a rectangle, and the formula for that is length times width. For this rectangle, my length is 4.1 centimeters, and my width is 5.4. So 4.1 centimeters times 5.4 centimeters. When I multiply those together, I get 22.14 square centimeters. Next, I can find the area of the second shape, my triangle. The area for a triangle is the base times the height over 2. The base of my triangle is here, which is 5.4 centimeters, just like the width of the rectangle. This measurement here at 90 degrees to the base is my height. And I'll need to calculate that. I know that this total distance from the bottom of this rectangle to the peak of the triangle is 6.2 centimeters. And I know that this portion of it in the rectangle is 4.1 centimeters. If I subtract those, then I'll get the height of the triangle. So 6.2 centimeters minus 4.1 centimeters gives me a height of 2.1 centimeters. I can substitute those values into my equation now. The base was 5.4 centimeters times the height of 2.1 centimeters, all divided by 2. So the area of the triangle is 5.67 square centimeters. Finally, I can calculate the total area by adding the area of the rectangle and the triangle together. So 22.14 plus 5.67. My total area is 27.81 centimeters squared. So I calculated both the perimeter and the total area of this irregular shape. In the next question, I'm dealing with a circle, and I'm told it has an area of 4.2 square meters, and I want to find the radius in meters. I'll round my final answer to 1 decimal place. From your formula sheet, the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. In this case, I know the area, so I substitute that in for a, 4.2. Equals pi r squared, and I want to rearrange this equation to solve for r so I can calculate the radius. I'm going to do all the rearrangement first and then punch everything into my calculator at the end so that I don't wind up rounding my answer too early. First, I can see that the r squared is multiplied by pi, so to move that pi to the other side, I can divide, which gives me 4.2 divided by pi equals r squared. The opposite operation to squaring is square rooting. So to get r by itself, I need to square root each side. So for the rearrangement, that gives me the square root of 4.2 divided by pi equals r. So I'm going to put this all into my calculator at once. My square root, and then 4.2 divided by pi is all under the square root sign. So I'm going to put that in brackets on my calculator. 4.2 divided by, and I'm going to make sure to use the pi button. I'm not going to use the rounded value 3.14. So divide by pi, close the bracket, equals. So my radius is 1.15624, or rounded to one decimal place, 1.2 meters. My final question on this page, I'm asked to find the volume of the cylinder below, and I'm going to find it in cubic feet. And I'll round my final answer to 2 decimal places. I can look on the formula sheet and see that the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times the height of the cylinder. I have the height of the cylinder here, measured in feet, and here I have the diameter measured in feet, the distance all the way across the circle. I can calculate the radius from the diameter, remembering that the radius is the diameter divided by 2. So 1.25 feet divided by 2, my radius is 0.625 feet. I can see that my units are all the same, my radius is in feet and my height is in feet, so I can substitute into my equation. Volume is pi times the radius, 0.625, squared, times the height is 3.75 feet. In my calculator, again, use the pi button, times 0.625 squared times 3.75 equals 4.6019, or rounded to 2 decimal places, 4.60 cubic feet. So my volume is 4.60 feet cubed. The final video will take you through the solutions for page 4 of the practice test.